Welcome back to my channel, Word Steps. Today I'm starting again to do a little bit of an interview, and I'm really lucky because I met this amazing person called Ryan, and he will tell you all about himself in a minute. And today we are going to be learning about the connection with music, the connection with our soul, and how can we be brave in just listening to music. I listened to his piece, which you will be able to hear it at the end of this video. And without further ado, I'd like to welcome Ryan.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, Ryan. It's so lovely to have you here. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, I am a board-certified music therapist and a musician living in Exeter, New Hampshire in the USA, and I've been doing music therapy for over 20 years, specializing in helping children and adolescents and adults with special needs. And I just love that, and it feeds my soul. And I also compose and produce and record a lot of mellow instrumental guitar music. A lot of people use it for yoga and meditation and relaxation and sleep. And lately I've been doing writing a lot of guided meditations for children. I've got a whole new project called Cool Koala, and we're doing these really fun, engaging, imaginative guided meditations to help children who are struggling with stress and anxiety, or just looking to gain some more peace in their life and learn great skills for dealing with big feelings like anger and frustration and worry. So it's been quite a journey the past year, writing and producing and recording these meditations as well. So I got my hands in a couple different things, but they all interact and they all feed each other. It's very symbiotic.
That's amazing. You'll be able to find all the information related to what I was talking about in the description of the video below. I think that you've mentioned some really important keywords: emotions, anxiety, children, finding ourselves. And in the Brave Steps to Brave Talking, where I help parents helping their child to take steps towards communication, anxiety is a big thing.
Yes.
And I love when you say we need to find a connection. And I think that one common language is music. Yeah. Music is something that a baby perceives from 18 weeks inside their mom's tummy. Mm-hmm. So the connection with the music, the fact that you use it in your work. But can you explain to those that are new to this, what is the idea behind of the music and the connection and finding a little bit more peace?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of different elements to it. I mean, first of all, let's just start with the passive music listening. Just having some nice calming music on in the background. It's so simple, yet so effective. What I love about it too is when parents, teachers, therapists start to use music more clinically, more choosing the music with mindfulness and intention, to put it on in the background, to create a soothing environment. It not only can help relax the kids, but it helps relax the parents or the teachers or the therapist. So it's just a win-win. So that's a kind of passive application that's so easy to do. Now, what one person finds relaxing, someone else might not exactly find relaxing, but the general dynamics are instrumental music, because if you get singing involved, all of a sudden you're engaging the frontal lobes, right? Your brain is trying to process the lyrics and the words. So instrumental music can be great. Between 60 beats per minute and 90 beats per minute, so that kind of more that resting heart rate tempo, that can be really important. And you don't want it to have big dynamic changes. Sometimes people, their go-to is like classical music for relaxation, and classical music is amazing, but there's so much going on and there's these big crescendos and these changes, and So in general, you want something a little more pared down, a little more mellow than what classical music may be. So those are a couple things to think about if you're searching for some calming music to play. In my music therapy practice, I use music more actively. So my client will have an instrument, a little hand drum, a little maraca. So it engages their whole sensory system. It engages their tactile. They're holding the instrument. It engages their kinesthetic system. They're playing along. It engages their auditory, their visual. It's such an amazing multi-sensory experience, which then, of course, activates all these different parts of the brain. And then what I'll do is I'll custom write songs for children that will have cognitive behavioral strategies as part of the lesson of the song. I call them like therapy songs. So it might be even something like, when your body says, whoa, take a deep, deep breath. When your body says, yikes, take a deep, deep breath. When your body says too much, you know I've had too much. You can take a deep, deep breath. And you feel better?
I feel like taking a deep breath as well.
And
that's amazing.
Whatever their anxieties or stressors may be, that would be the next verse. Then I would sing about windy days, if they're stressed about when it's windy outside.
Yes.
And I could incorporate that into the song and then use the deep breathing or some other cognitive behavioral strategy. So those are a couple ways that I like to use music.
I love that. And if you have been following my channel, you know how important for me is to talk about how does the brain work. And we talk about words and the word that actually your brain holds on because your anxiety is holding on, your body's so stressed, and children feel that they cannot use their voice. And this is what is so exciting about my job, is to help children finding their voices. Now, I do this through movement because I believe that there's that kind of connection. But it happened that I listened to your music and I found that connection, exactly as you're saying, instrumental, only one thing, not too much going on, and found that peace, that, really some rest. And then when we can rest, we can create. And when we can create, then we're not stopping the voice coming out. I love the fact that communication can happen through music. Yeah. And I will link some of your videos below. I've watched some of the videos with children with Down syndrome. They are connecting whilst you are singing to them and playing. I think maybe I need to learn to play the guitar. That's, I play a little bit with the drum, but certainly not the guitar. Now, that's just very curious. Have you ever come across yourself children that are scared to talk?
I have not worked with many children with those kind of challenges. I did, before I became a music therapist, I worked at a residential treatment facility. So children who were removed from their homes by the state because the parents were being unsafe. And there was one girl there who had selective mutism, and I was so honored and blessed to be able to watch her start to come out and open up and start to talk again. It was really beautiful. But personally, most of my clients, I've worked with a lot of children with autism who are nonverbal. And what I always love to think about is the power of music. That there's this great saying, I believe it was by Hans Christian Andersen, that music speaks where words fail. And it's just so lovely that you can connect with someone on a very deep level without speaking, without even singing. You could have a child who's not ready to use their voice yet, and you hand them a drum or a maraca, and you're playing together and you're communicating, and all those endorphins and oxytocin are being released, all those feel-good hormones are being released, and those bonding hormones. So you're also building the therapeutic trust and the therapeutic relationship that's going to help them be able to open up down the road.
I love that. The connection without the power of words. One of the most important things that I often say is selective mutism is more than the fear of talking, but also what we don't want to focus on is only on words. Because, you know, for you, if you're a parent, have you ever considered music therapy? Because it's about creating the connection. I do it through games and through movements. And a lot of people think because I'm a speech and language therapist, words. Right. But it's about what and how we communicate through rolling and connecting and the child trusting me through what becomes initially a laughter to then, you know, a game, and then words come out because there are no expectation. And that's what I feel that the music therapy will offer, really, as in all the things that we've talked about in the brain, but very much to allow the child to communicate in a different way, to find the words that I always say to the children, they are lost somewhere.
Yeah, beautiful. I'm wondering, just from your perspective, one of the beautiful things about music too is you can vocalize. You don't have to actually speak words. So would a child with selective mutism be more open to doing something like la 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 rather than singing, you know, some words to that? Well, could that be a bridge to them using their voice more?
I think it's absolutely right, because we start with vocalization. It's the rhythm is always the same, is almost predictable. And actually what we see is we know that children can sing with other children because they're not speaking. They're not that worried about what have I said it, I've said it in the right way. And obviously it goes deep. But the connection that we've created today was really very much to show you as parents and carers that there is more in the connection that we've created with music. So I'd really like you to listen to Ryan's music, and I'd like to really thank you. And I'm so excited about your project, and I think there is a lot to be said about the meditation. We live in a world that everything is so fast. We want the solution straight away. But with the music and the therapy combined together, I think that it's really language for the soul. And something that I'm really curious to ask is, what would be your word for communication?
I guess connection. You know, it's all about being able to connect with someone else, right? And the power of words to be able to do that, to express yourself and communicate and build a relationship with someone through words, is really about that connection.
Ryan, where can parents find you?
Oh, you could find, if you're interested in my instrumental music, which is mostly instrumental fingerstyle guitar, sometimes accompanied by cello. That can be ryanjuddmusic.com. And you can find me on YouTube. Ryan Judd Music is my channel. And if you're more interested in my music therapy work, you could check out my website, The Rhythm Tree. Rhythm Tree, like a tree with leaves. therhythmtree.com.
Thank you so much. And as promised, after this, I will be putting the music that Ryan is playing with.